Okay, so picture this for me. You're walking through a marketplace, right? But it's in a metaverse, and you can earn crypto just for being there. Or, how about this? You're paying for groceries with a debit card, but it seamlessly blends your crypto and regular money.
That's exactly the kind of future that solar is working towards. And the exciting thing is, they're not just caught up in the tech side of it, they're actually building real-world uses for it that people will want to use every day.
It's not just another theoretical blockchain, they're really focused on making it practical, which is what we're diving into today. We're taking a deep dive into their white paper, the latest version 2.0.1.
It's like a roadmap to the future of decentralized tech.
Exactly. And we're going to break down what makes Solar unique, even if you're totally new to all this blockchain stuff. No worries, we'll make it clear. So, first things first, for anyone who's hearing about Solar for the first time, what is it at its core?
At its heart, Solar is what's called a Layer 1 blockchain. It's kind of in the same vein as Ethereum, but it's got its own unique advantages and ways of doing things. Think of it like the base layer, the foundation that everything else is built on.
So it's like the bedrock. And on top of that bedrock, they're building a whole ecosystem. But let's stick with the foundation for a moment. How does Solar handle things like security and making sure transactions actually go through? I know that's a big deal in the blockchain world.
Absolutely, security is paramount. And Solar tackles this with a system called Delegated Proof of Stake, DPoS for short. It's all about distributing trust among a network of validators, specifically 53 block producers. These block producers, they're the ones responsible for verifying transactions and keeping the whole network secure.
So it's not just about the code, but about who's actually maintaining that code and making sure everything runs smoothly.
Exactly. And here's where it gets interesting for anyone holding SXP.
SXP, that's Solar's native coin, right?
That's the one. So by holding SXP, you actually have a say in how the network operates because it gives you voting power. You can choose which of these block producers you want to support, and the more SXP you hold, the more weight your vote carries.
It's like blockchain democracy in action. And that ties into something I really appreciate about Solar, their commitment to transparency. They're all about open source development, so anyone can see the code, contribute to it even, and they've got a public roadmap. You can actually see what they're working on and what's coming down the line.
And when it comes to security, they're not just talking the talk. Solar Core, which is the framework of the whole blockchain, is built with security as a top priority. They even go so far as to publish a security and analysis report, and they actively encourage users to report any vulnerabilities they find, no matter how small.
Which is really reassuring, especially in the world of crypto where security breaches can be disastrous. But it sounds like they're not resting on their laurels. They've got this big update in the works, Solar Core 5.0. One thing that caught my eye was this Byzantine fault tolerance model.
The BFT model.
It sounds kind of intense. What exactly is it?
It's all about making the network super resilient, so resilient that it can handle errors or even intentional attacks without missing a beat.
Okay, that sounds crucial for something as important as, financial transactions.
Think of it like this. Imagine a bunch of generals, right? And they're trying to coordinate an attack. But the catch is, some of those generals might be traitors trying to sabotage the whole operation.
Oh, this sounds like a movie plot.
The BFT model is like their secret strategy guide. It helps them reach a consensus and pull off that attack, even with potential saboteurs in their ranks.
So in the context of Solar, those traders would be like what? Bugs in the code or even malicious actors?
You got it. It's about creating a system that's so robust that it can handle pretty much anything thrown at it, which means your transactions are far less likely to get disrupted or compromised.
That's a brilliant analogy. I love it. It makes me feel a lot more secure just thinking about it.
Right.
And to make those transactions even smoother and faster, SolarCore 5.0 is implementing these things called Bonalin Shakam signatures.
Or BLS signatures for short, because that's a mouthful.
I was going to say, so what do these BLS signatures actually do?
They're basically a super secure way of verifying transactions. They allow the network to confirm everything much faster and with a higher level of security.
Gotcha. So for the average user, that means faster transactions, less waiting around, and more peace of mind knowing that everything is secure. But let's go back to SXP for a moment. One thing that always fascinates me about certain cryptos is the concept of burning.
It does seem counterintuitive at first glance, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's destroy our own coin.
Right. It seems kind of crazy. Why would they do that?
It all boils down to supply and demand. By burning SXP, they're effectively reducing the overall supply which can potentially increase the value of the remaining tokens.
Okay, so less SXP in circulation could mean that each individual SXP becomes more valuable.
Exactly. It's a strategy for managing inflation and creating a more stable and potentially more valuable asset for SXP holders.
Makes sense. So we've got a secure foundation, a system where users actually have a say in how things are run, and a token that has this built-in mechanism for potentially increasing its value over time. What else does Solar have up its sleeve?
Well, this is where things get really interesting. Because Solar Core 5.0 isn't just about little tweaks here and there. It's a major upgrade with a whole bunch of game-changing features that could really shake things up in the blockchain space.
We're back, and we're diving headfirst into Solar Core 5.0 and all the cool stuff it's bringing with it.
It's a game changer, really. Packed with features that could seriously disrupt the blockchain space, and at the top of the list has to be the Solar Virtual Machine, SVM for short.
SVM. Okay, sounds like something out of Star Trek, but in plain English, what is it? Why should we care?
Think of SVM as Solar's own custom-built platform for running smart contracts. Kind of like what Ethereum has with its virtual machine, but tailored specifically for Solar.
Okay, so flashbacks to our Ethereum deep dive. Smart contracts were a big deal there. What kind of possibilities are we talking about with SVM on Solar?
With SVM, developers can let their imaginations run wild. We're talking decentralized applications, dApps, built on Solar. And not just any dApps, everything from DeFi platforms for lending and borrowing to games using NFTs, even completely new applications that haven't even been thought of yet.
It's like taking the potential of Ethereum smart contracts but bringing it to the Solar ecosystem, unlocking a whole new world of possibilities.
Exactly, and it gets better.
Mm.
Remember we were talking about how user-friendly Solar is? Well, they're taking it up a notch with Solar Core 5.0 by introducing something called permission keys.
Ooh, I'm all ears when it comes to user friendliness. Tell me more.
So imagine this. With permission keys, you can create different keys for different actions on your Solar wallet. Let's say you want to use an app to buy something with your Solar wallet, but you don't want to give the app access to your entire wallet.
Yeah, that's always a concern for me when connecting my wallet to stuff.
With permission keys, you can create a specific key that only lets that app access a certain amount of your funds or only allows it to do certain things. No more worrying about risking your whole stash.
Like having separate keys for different doors instead of one master key that unlocks everything. Permission keys, that's brilliant. What else is coming with Solar Core 5.0?
Buckle up, because this is a big one. Say goodbye to those ridiculously long and confusing blockchain addresses.
Wait, seriously?
Solar Core 5.0 is bringing in username registration.
So instead of those random strings of letters and numbers, I'll actually be able to send SXP to someone using a normal, easy-to-remember username.
You got it. No more triple-checking every single character to make sure you haven't set your SXP to the wrong galaxy.
That is huge E for usability.
And it's not just about convenience. Human-readable addresses mean fewer errors, fewer lost transactions, and a much smoother experience. Plus, imagine usernames with avatars or links to websites built right in.
Okay, that's next level stuff. It makes blockchain so much more approachable for the average person. And it's not just about sending money, it's about identity, community, the whole 9 yards.
You're getting it. And for our tech-savvy listeners out there, Solar Core 5.0 is making major improvements to node management.
I'll be honest, node management isn't exactly my forte. What do these improvements mean for the average user who might not be a blockchain wizard?
Basically, it's all about making the entire network faster, more efficient, more secure, the whole package. By improving node management, they're making it easier for people to run nodes, which helps decentralize the network and make it more resistant to attacks. Everyone benefits, even if they don't fully grasp the technical details.
A rising tide lifts all boats, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about wallets. The current Solar wallets do the job, they're functional, but word on the street is they've got some exciting developments in the pipeline.
Ooh, I love a good sneak peek. Spill it. What kind of upgrades are we talking about?
Think next-generation wallets. We're talking advanced features like built-in tools for creating your own tokens, real-time blockchain monitoring, and even tighter integration with the whole Solar ecosystem.
Okay, so that's already pretty cool. Anything else?
Oh, just one more tiny detail. Solar Core 5.0 will be bringing MetaMask compatibility.
Hold up. Did you just say MetaMask? As in the MetaMask? One of the most popular crypto wallets out there, especially for the Ethereum crowd.
The one and only. By integrating with MetaMask, Solar is opening its doors to a much wider audience, making it unbelievably easy for people to jump into the Solar ecosystem.
That's massive. For anyone who might not fully grasp the implications of that, break it down for us. Why is MetaMask compatibility such a big deal?
Imagine moving your crypto assets between different blockchains like it's nothing, all from one wallet. MetaMask integration is a huge leap toward that vision. And it means easier access to those awesome dApps we talked about earlier, plus more liquidity for SXP as it becomes available to a whole new world of traders and investors.
So we're not just talking about a tech upgrade here. We're talking about Solar positioning itself as a major player in the DeFi space.
Exactly. But they're not stopping there. They're taking this tech and building real-world applications through their company, Docto, bridging that gap between the blockchain world and our everyday lives.
And that's what we're going to explore right after the break, because Docto is where things get really interesting. We're back and more than ready to dive into Docto. This is where the rubber meets the road, right? Turning all that cool solar tech into real-world stuff people can actually use.
Exactly. Docto is all about building that bridge between the blockchain world and our everyday lives, and they're doing it in some really creative ways.
Let's start with District 53. This isn't just another metaverse project, is it? What makes it stand out from the crowd?
District 53 is all about ownership. It's a metaverse where users can actually buy virtual land, represented as NFTs, build on that land, customize it, you name it. And here's the cool part. You can even earn SXP through things like in-world advertising.
So you're not just escaping to a digital world, you can actually own a piece of it and potentially even generate some income from it.
You got it. It's about blurring those lines between the virtual and the real, giving users tangible benefits in both worlds.
I love it. Okay, next up we have Tempt, their next generation gaming launcher. This one really piqued my interest because the gaming industry seems ripe for disruption, and Tempt seems to be taking it head on.
The gaming world is notoriously resistant to change, but Tempt is flipping the script. It's a blockchain-based platform that empowers game developers to integrate crypto and NFTs directly into their game.
So we're talking about actually owning your in-game items, your weapons, your skins, whatever it might be.
Exactly.
Mm.
And because it's built on the blockchain, it means true ownership. No more worrying about your favorite game shutting down, and poof, all your hard-earned items disappear. With Tempt, you actually own those assets.
That is a game changer, both literally and figuratively.
And it creates a more transparent and fair ecosystem for everyone involved. Players have true ownership, and developers have new ways to monetize and engage their communities.
Okay, I'm sold on Teamint. Now, let's talk about something that feels incredibly practical, something I can see myself using every day. The Solar Card. Tell me everything.
The Solar Card is all about bridging that gap between crypto and traditional finance, making it seamless to use your crypto for everyday purchases. And they've partnered with Choice.com for this, which is huge.
Choice.com. Why is that partnership so significant?
They have a massive reach. We're talking over 140 countries. With the Solar Card, you can potentially spend your crypto anywhere in the world that accepts debit cards.
That level of integration is what's going to take crypto mainstream, no doubt about it. It's those everyday applications that really make a difference. But they're not stopping with just a debit card. Tell me about Moon.store.
Moon.store is their universal e-commerce platform. Think of it like the Amazon of the solar ecosystem, but with SXP as the currency. And here's the really smart part. They're not limiting it to just solar-related stuff.
So I could potentially buy anything on Moon.store using SXP.
Eventually, yes. They're actively encouraging other projects to join the platform, list their products, and be a part of this growing marketplace.
It's like they're building a whole ecosystem within an ecosystem. Really smart strategy.
It is. And let's not forget about their strategic partnerships. They've teamed up with some big names already, like ChangeNowW, StealthyX, Now Payments, Travala.
It's a who's who of the crypto world. They're really covering their bases.
Exactly. And they've got their sights set on global expansion, specifically markets like Japan, Turkey, the US, really tapping into those crypto hotspots.
Very strategic. Now, two partnerships that particularly caught my eye were Lysithia Ventures and ICO Pantera. What's the story there?
Those two are all about tapping into the Korean crypto market, which is booming. Lysithia Ventures helps blockchain projects navigate that market, while ICO Pantera provides a direct line to the Korean crypto community.
Very cool. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here today. As we wrap up this deep dive into solar, what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
Solar isn't just building another blockchain. They're building a future where this technology is seamlessly integrated into our everyday lives. From decentralized finance and gaming to online shopping and global payments, they're building the tools to make that vision a reality.
It's not just about the tech, it's about what that tech can do to make our lives better, more efficient, more secure, more fun, you name it. I'm personally really excited to see where solar goes from here. They're definitely a project to watch.
Absolutely. The future of blockchain is all about real-world application, and solar is leading the charge.
And that, my friends, is a wrap on our solar deep dive. If you're as intrigued by solar as we are, we encourage you to check out their white paper, join their Discord community, dive into the details. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you on our next adventure into the world of groundbreaking technology.